or even do it like a cold opening of like us bantering and then being like, and welcome to the podcast, and then the jingle plays.
Oh, yep, that's gone. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Past Our Expiration podcast. We are two friends, Ellie and Brad. We're talking about pop culture, satirical conversation about hopefully lighthearted subjects.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm excited. Episode 1.
Very
so we'll
first.
see how this goes. And we apologize for awkwardness.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have lost our sea legs as far as podcasting goes, because we did have one. Well, did we have two?
Yeah.
Did we do two, or did we do one?
No.
We did one.
I did one. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I've had
You've
many
had
failed
multiple.
ventures. Yes. Just say what you mean. Just say what you mean.
No. No, that's not.
So
No, that's not what I meant.
It was very popular, but you might recognize us from the Don't Talk to Me podcast, which
Obviously
we did with our very close personal friend V. Which
we're kind of famous now. We're kind of a big deal. So
kind of a big deal.
That's why we had to venture out and start a new one, because
exactly. People were
it just
swarming
got so
us.
popular.
Exactly. Swarming us in the
Paparazzi.
street. No, but that died because we moved house, and then we were like, that seems like awkward to start again. So let's just start something else. And then
you moved, and I think I moved, and then I think V moved. I think we all
and
moved.
you shot a person out of yourself in between.
I did, yes. Recently. So that's
recently.
Yep. Yes. One of those things.
I'm yet to do that. I'll let you know when it happens. I'm not expecting it, but
I mean, I don't recommend the shooting them out part. Afterwards, pretty good, but that whole venture.
So you think I should do cesarean, is what you're saying?
Yes. Well,
I mean, it would be the only way to set up my child to be a gold star gay. Which is,
true.
It's the gay agenda. I'm setting them up.
That's a good point.
Exactly. They can't touch a vagina ever. You know, it's a thing. No, it's not gold star gay. It's platinum star gay.
But then what's gold star gay?
Gold star gay is you've never been with a woman, right? And then platinum star is you've never touched a vagina even when you're coming out. Which it dips into it. Okay, that dips into themes of like misogyny for me a little bit, right? A little bit,
yeah. Yeah.
It's like, ew, just a pussy once. Oh, gross.
I mean, you were an infant.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
and it's your mum's, so
you've also touched a woman because you were inside her for a good long time.
That's a good point. Yeah, so you can't really.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I guess that's as least amount as you can do.
So what you're saying is we need test tube babies. Is really what you're saying.
Not to get political, but yes, obviously.
I mean, hey, it would kind of solve a lot of issues. There was a movie recently with Emilia Clarke about test tube babies, wasn't there?
Oh man, I don't know.
She's like talking to this egg the entire time, but the
like
egg,
a dragon egg.
Very similar. Okay, like shockingly similar. If you're watching the video podcast, I'll pop like a little snippet here of like what she looks like, but it's her holding this giant fucking egg with a baby growing inside. And I think it's about like the human connection to like babies growing, and like I don't know whether the point will be that it's like it's because it's artificial, it's wrong, it's different, or the fact that, which is true, that humans can make connections with inanimate objects and it happens all
Literally
the time.
Anything.
Which we're not getting into furniture of the week right now, but we
are
carrying that little segment over.
You just hold on, listener, for a little bit later.
Fucking wait. Just you fucking wait.
Yeah, exactly. So this egg.
Yeah.
Egg.
The egg. She has this, I assume, boyfriend, husband in this, but everyone does it, right? There's no natural births anymore. Like midwifery and that whole obstetrics side of, obgyno has been.
Women were like, you know what? No, not for me. Not pushing this out of me anymore.
If I could Uber Eats a baby, I would too. You know what I mean? Like, if it was as easy as picking up a loaf of bread, wouldn't everyone do it? I mean, obviously, then you have to take care of the baby. That's kind of the thing. But
correct. Yeah,
you don't have to fire something out of yourself. And like, Okay,
Does it
not
still take 9 months? Like, what is this
yes.
gestation
Yeah,
period in this egg? Okay,
gestation
so
is the
it's
same.
still 9 months.
Gestation is the same, I
Okay.
believe. I haven't seen the movie, so I'm kind of talking out of my ass. But it seems to be the same because it's about like her relationship with her husband as well, like the entire time. Um, I saw a trailer.
I feel like, yeah, I need to see this movie or at least see the trailer also, or
Yeah.
watch someone else watch said movie on YouTube as I like to do.
Have you been doing that recently? What have you done that
Mm.
with? What's the most recent one?
Oh god. I like to watch a lot of Dylan is in trouble watching movies, especially horror because I don't like horror, so then watching someone else watch horror is like it's kind of
It's a
reserved
step
enough that I'm
removed.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I'm not scared of this.
I can't handle horror. I'm like with my bed sheet. I'm like, "Ah!" Like I
Yeah.
can't do it. I can't watch horror. I love horror though. That's the problem.
Mm,
And
yeah.
my partner loves horror. So we'll be going through like I think we watched Ghost Ship the other day, and Ghost Ship is not a very scary
Oh,
movie. It's a
that's old
great
school.
movie.
Yeah, mhm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Going through the greats before we get to the new ones.
Yeah.
But I was watching it and like I knew what was going to happen because I've seen all of these horror movies and I'm catching him up to speed. But
Mhm.
I was like, and then I'm like literally sitting like this while that bitch is getting. You, if you've seen
What
it, you know
the
what I
first
mean.
thing. Yeah, mhm.
If
Best
you've,
opening scene of all time.
yeah, the
Mhm.
it wasn't even it wasn't a piano wire. It was like what kind of wire was it? It was like it was holding
Super
yeah
thin.
super thin razor wire thing.
Yeah,
But
no
if you've
spy
if you've seen Ghost
thing.
Ship, you know. I mean, we can't exactly spoil. It's a 40-year-old movie.
It's
Like
so it's so
it's
spoilers,
far
guys,
older than
spoilers.
me. It's like slightly older than you. Um
Oh my god, get me some milk.
yeah, ouch. Um but yeah, first scene of the movie, everyone gets cut in half.
Mhm.
Um
On,
which
like, the top deck of the boat, right?
yeah,
Big cruise ship situation.
and there's this little
Yeah,
girl and she's standing
big
there
wine. Well,
and
she doesn't
because
die, right? 'Cause she's
well
short.
but the thing is she does die because she starves to death because she's on a ship with
That's
no
I
food, which is
totally
almost worse.
yeah.
It's almost
Hon
worse.
honestly, the PTSD of seeing everybody getting chopped in half and
Yeah.
then stuff I mean
Because she's just standing there. She's, like, little,
mhm,
so she doesn't it just goes right over it gives her a fashionable bob, and then
yeah.
she's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong, everyone?" And then they're all dead.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
That's fucked up. That's fucked
Is
up.
she the
It
only kid
couldn't
on
be
the ship?
me.
I can't even
Yeah.
remember now.
She's, like, the only kid on the ship. I don't
That's
they
so
never
unfortunate.
explain
Imagine if
that.
someone was like, "Oh, shit, my shoelaces. Hang on, let me just"
Yeah.
and then whoosh,
But the thing is,
and
people
you're
did
alive.
survive that. People did survive that. And then the whole thing is it's like an evil entity aboard the ship that's killing everyone, remember? And it's like
It's been so long since I've seen this movie.
it like corrupts them and then makes them kill.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. All I remember is, like, that first scene essentially
It's
because
iconic. It's
it is
iconic.
yeah, and I saw a meme about it the other day too, which reminded me.
Really?
Yeah.
Of Ghost Ship? I
Well,
mean,
like
I know we're having the conversation right now, so
I know,
clearly it's in the zeitgeist somehow, but
it is, yeah.
it's in
I
it's a
I say
where?
meme, but not in the sense of, like, someone created I mean, it was literally just, like, screenshots of the scene and people being like,
How
"Iconic,"
good was
right?
this scene?
Iconic. Yeah, it wasn't like someone had
Iconic.
put Robert
Iconic.
Pattinson inside the scene and,
Yeah.
like, remixed it with Twilight or something like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
Oh, I
It was
fucking
just
wish.
well, now
Hold
I
on, Spider Monkey, and he grabs her and takes her away. Swoon.
well, might have to do that now.
Mm. I'm
I
not
doubt
that good at editing. I don't think I could do that.
it's I'll get it sorted for you.
Oh, will
Definitely,
you
you're
go on
right.
Fiverr? You're gonna go get some poor student to make it to do it for us?
Mhm, mhm,
Yeah, I
mhm.
think that's perfectly worth. I'll chip in
Hold on,
250.
Spider Monkey. Just wait. Oh, yeah. But that, the egg movie thing, I definitely wanna see was that like a psychological thriller situation? It sounds
No, it's like
no.
it is definitely psychological, but I think it's along the line. Not even like Mother. Do you remember that movie with Jennifer
Mhm.
Lawrence?
Yeah.
I think it's along those veins where it's like the relationship that we have with I think it's just like, a view on reality and how things would be different if, it was completely equal. And I don't
Right.
even know if equality really plays that huge of a deal. Amelia Clark's in it, and she's just good. So
Yeah,
we're
of
gonna
course.
have to. And I don't know what it's called, but we'll figure it out.
I feel like if I Google Emilia Clarke egg movie,
Egg movie. I think
let's
that'd
test this
work.
theory.
But I
Um,
feel like a lot of Game of Thrones stuff is gonna come up
egg
surely, right?
movie. Oh, that's a good point. Well, if I put movie, maybe we'll be okay.
Hmm.
Oh, you know what, girlfriend? The Pod Generation 2023. It's this year, January release date.
Oh, nice.
In the not so distant future, amid a society madly in love with technology, tech giant Pegasus, that's not Pegasus, there's a Z in there, but anyway, off
Pegasus.
Pegasus, yeah, right, offers couples the opportunity to share their pregnancies via detachable artificial wombs or pods. Um, yes, sign me up, not gonna lie. I I would be keen for a well, I mean, it's hard, I guess, because then you're so detached from your child, and maybe you don't have that whole getting to know them for the 9 months, like growing
But
an
they're still
attachment.
there. They're still there. It's not like you can leave them in the next room. Like,
True, true, true. So you
yeah.
still have to, like, carry them around and be like,
Yeah.
"Hello,
Yeah. Yeah.
baby."
Hello, small one.
To a small
Um,
child, but then you just don't have to birth that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think if I had the option, if they're like, "Would you like to push a watermelon out of you
mm.
or no?" I'm probably gonna go no.
So, not to get too personal, but now that
Mhm.
you've had your first child,
Yes.
if that was the option, would you be far more open to having a second child?
Yeah, well, I mean, we have had the conversation already this early on. I mean, our bub, Pagan, she's only 8 weeks old, so it's very early.
Small,
But we
yeah.
have already talked about being one and done. Um, but that is more to do with our lifestyle and economics and just what we
Mm,
want for our lives in terms of
yeah.
how we wanna, live in the future. So, I don't know if someone being like, "Hey, you can have your baby in an egg," it would change my mind in terms of that. If in saying that though, if I went back to, like, pre-pregnancy or even in pregnancy and someone was like, "Hey, do you wanna do it this way instead?"
Mm,
Yes. I feel like yes.
yeah. I mean, it's
Bec
also even like if you think about it from like a medical perspective, like being able to watch the development, watch for things going wrong, that,
hmm,
you know, it's also
so you can
good on
I
that
didn't
part.
actually look at the pictures when I Googled. So can you, like, see them?
You can see them. There's like a
Oh,
panel. So
goodness.
basically, it stays shrouded for a certain amount of time. And then I don't know, I must have watched some extended
Oh,
trailer or some shit.
it
But
does look
basically,
like
the panel is like
glass.
it's like a Tamagotchi almost.
Yes,
Um,
I see one of Emilia Clarke with headphones on, looking very cute and cry, so she must be able to hear the baby in there, I guess,
yes. Yeah, yeah.
which is kinda cute, not gonna lie.
Mm,
Um, I mean, yeah, it looks pretty good in terms of being able to see what's going on and, like, make an
mm,
attachment to that child, because that would be the main
yeah,
thing that you would be worried about, I guess, is
yeah,
that you'd not have that attachment.
yeah.
But I mean, dads do it they don't
It's
get to
true.
form an attachment, you know what I
It's
mean?
true.
They can just touch your belly and
That
be like, "Oh,
speaking of
baby in
one
there."
and done, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, humans, we have, and I think a lot of monkey species have the ability to make relationships. I mean, it's
Mm.
the reason that we don't throw away stuffed animals. The reason that we have
Yeah.
emotional connections to inanimate objects a lot. So I feel like
Yeah.
even if the baby, I mean, it's a baby,
That's
it's
true.
not inanimate, but that egg, you would. And I feel like a lot of people wouldn't throw away the egg either. I mean, I still have,
No,
my
no.
mum has no baby pictures of me. However, she does have like a little bit of my umbilical cord, right?
Mhm.
Like preserved in a baby book. And I saw
Yeah.
that and I said, "Oh, what is that beef jerky looking object?" And she goes, "Oh, that's your umbilical cord." And I go,
Hmm,
"Gross."
yum.
Gross.
Yes. Yeah, I
Thanks.
still have pagans. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I do get it 'cause,
Mm,
it just falls off and you're like, "Oh," and
mine.
then you're kinda like
What a fashionable new bow tie. Like,
and I was kind of like, "Oh, I'll just put this in the bin," and then I was like, "I don't
mm.
it doesn't feel r right to just throw it in the bin." I'm like, "This was on my baby," and I
Do you want to hear something really terrifying? My mum used to have all of our childhood teeth, right? So if you were going to keep all of Pagan's teeth, where would you keep them? Like all together in like one spot in like a maybe like an ornate box or something, right?
you can buy those. Like, I've
Yeah.
seen them on Etsy with little spots for each, tooth, right?
Do you wanna know where they were?
Weird me out.
They were loose in her sock drawer. And I found out one day because she
Huh.
asked me as a child to go and get her a pair of socks. And so I go, I feel something hard. I'm like, "Ooh, what's that?" And so I look, teeth. I was like, and this was before I knew
Terrifying.
what a serial killer was.
Oh,
However,
of course.
that is serial killer vibes, Jacqueline.
It
Like,
is.
I, what is wrong with you?
You're like, either these are my teeth or you're a psychopath.
And they were very
And
small. So I was like, you have a very specific demographic to James
oh,
fucking,
mhm,
I almost
mhm,
said
mhm.
James Dahmer. James Dahmer, day drama, look in your eye. I'm on a
James.
Taylor Swift kick. I really am. I've been getting right back into it, which just sucks because Taylor Swift is coming to Melbourne next year,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
I didn't get tickets
Tickets, yeah.
because
Mhm.
I was like, I don't like her that much. And then TikTok was like, you
Yes, you
do though. You love
do.
her. And I was like,
You do.
you're right. Actually,
And you're
you're
like,
right.
"Hmm,
Yeah.
thanks, TikTok."
Yeah, and so I've been listening to all of the I because I'm an ally. I have only been listening to Taylor's versions, and as soon
Sure.
as a different one comes on, I'm like, "Fuck you, swipe." Like it matters, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, but it's the principle of the thing. I'm like, "Fuck you, dude, who I don't even know what your name is, but I know you're a cunt." Bang! Like, I
Goodbye, yeah, mhm.
get fucked. I
I don't
don't.
think I'd even notice the difference between the versions. I feel like if you played them side by side, I'd probably be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay." But if I heard one, I wouldn't be able to be like, "Oh, that's the non-Taylor version. Let me just skip that."
It's kind of like, do you remember? Because you're a witch. When when Fleetwood Mac remade their Rumors album
Yeah,
and was almost identical, but the voice sounded a little bit more mature. There was a lot of
sure,
more
sure.
deeper tones, that sort of like a deeper theme to it,
Yeah,
like that. It's like that.
yeah.
Um, but it's like I don't
And
know.
I am here for it. I am here for T-Swizzle's own reincarnation and
Yeah,
her taking back
where she
like,
owns
for
everything.
sure,
Yeah,
I would be like, I'd wanna listen to only her versions too, but I'm just saying if it just popped up, I probably wouldn't be able to tell. It would have
yeah,
to say it in
fair.
the notes for me, I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
I use Spotify, not sponsor, but it does tell
Oh,
you.
mhm.
Um, the thing is, though, kind of rude. All of their like "This is Taylor Swift" playlists
Yeah.
all have the old versions, and it's like, if I
Mm.
were her, I'd be like, "Fuck you, dude!"
Like,
I'd
"Excuse
delete
me,
all of them.
Spotify."
Yeah, exactly. But she had beef with Spotify for a long
She
time,
did,
so
yeah, 'cause she wasn't even on there for
for
a
a long
hot
time, I
well,
remember. It was the
mm,
bane of my fucking existence because I, as a Swiftie, as a kid, I didn't do this, but I used to have to download music and then upload it to my library to put in
mhm,
my
mhm.
playlists, which I didn't do. Now it's only speculative,
Yes.
but
Allegedly,
allegedly,
for legal reasons.
yeah. But TikTok just fucking decides things for me sometimes. Like recently, I've only been getting "Am I the asshole? I ran over my neighbor's cat" videos. Like it's constant, constant. I don't know if you're getting these or if everyone's getting these, but I'm getting constant Reddit videos, and it's like making me feel like, should I
Are they the
just
ones with
join
the
Reddit?
Minecraft jumpy things as the
Yes.
pictures?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
sir. I'm like, I don't know how much of the tism you think I have, but I don't need to watch the Minecraft jumpy video while I'm listening to it, but I'm intrigued.
fucking rip my
Go
wig
on.
off because I love the Minecraft. I'm like, I it's the same the problem, it's the same video every time. And every time I find myself watching it, every single
Yeah.
time, I'm like,
Mhm.
I know. And then but I can never remember the route he takes. And I'm like trying to access my mega mind and like
Yeah.
trying to be like, and what happens next? And what happens next? Then I have to
See,
rewatch the video.
I almost get more distracted by that. I'm, like, more interested in this Minecraft, like, jumping situation.
Mm.
I don't play Minecraft.
Despite
Obviously.
me
Um,
trying to get you
yes,
into it.
yes. So I'm like, "Oh, this is kinda cool." And then I'm like, "Wait, he's saying words."
Ah,
And then
shit.
there's also words on the screen. So it's a lot going on. There's
It's
a lot going
rewind
on.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I am getting a lot of those. So it's very interesting that, the algorithm is just even though it's so specific, like TikTok's algorithm is very specific to people generally, but
Mhm.
yet we're getting the same exact
I
thing,
feel like
and I
we're
feel like
pretty similar. Well, actually,
yeah.
we have very different vibes because I'm like
Mhm.
more I feel like you're into more aesthetic things on TikTok sometimes. Like me and my lesbian lover make a cottage on the back of a truck. Sort of I'm only saying that because that's what my partner gets. That's he only gets cottage core lesbians,
I
which is
mean, I am
weird.
on definitely gay side of TikTok. I get a lot of, bisexual thirst traps, which may or may not be my fault, but we won't go there. And then it's all, like, comedy. It'll be, like, a comedy skit, and then it'll be just, like, some hot chick looking hot.
See, I only get so I get am I the asshole for killing my mother
And
like
those.
sort of
Mhm.
videos. And then I'll get it's straight dudes doing like shit they think is funny where it's like sometimes so I don't know what it is. So there's a trend at the moment on TikTok where it's like women explaining icks, right? And it's like they're
Yes.
using the beard filter and being like, I look like somebody who would stand really close to you on the bus and like compliment your eyes on the bus, like shit like that, like very specific icks. And it's
Yes.
like exploring, what like the little minor, like microaggressions
Mhm.
and shit like that. And then the men who do it, they're just whack as fuck. Like they're just whack as fuck. And it's like I saw one the other day, and it was like, I get the ick when she cheats on me. It's like that's not what we're talking about.
That's
That's it. That's it.
no,
That's
that's a
not
legitimate red flag. That is
exactly. It's not like,
setting the bar so low for yourself.
but it's like some of the ones that I've seen. It's like, oh, I get the ick when men use straws or when men use sunscreen, and it's like, okay, all right,
I
okay.
mean, the sunscreen one, I mean, babe, really?
I mean,
Really?
just do we need any more straight men?
Do you yeah, I don't understand. I'm, like, constantly trying to get Craig, my lovely hubby to be, to wear sunscreen because I don't want him
Mhm.
to look like a 90-year-old man when he's 60,
Yeah, you don't
because
want him
he
looking
can
like the
wear a
Necronomicon forever.
man.
It's
Right? Right? And he's already older than me, so I'm like,
Mm,
"Please, slip,
exactly.
slop, slap," you know?
Yeah. You
And
don't
we
want
live in
mm,
Australia where there's no ozone layer. Thank you so much, boomers, you know?
yeah, all them Freon gas from all their refrigerators. I don't get it. Did they all like did they get together and be like, "You know what'd be really funny? It's really cold. Let's everyone open our fridges at once
Mm.
and just rip a hole in the sky."
They're like,
I
"What
don't know
how else
science.
are we gonna" like, we don't have AC at this point, I guess,
True.
because it's the olden days. Let's just open our refrigerators
Mhm.
and, cool down the house. I mean, it's obvious science. It's,
It's a one-to-one.
yeah, yeah,
Science. I mean, I feel
science.
like science is sometimes quite objective. I mean, subjective, subject to
Yes. Mhm,
change. Like
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Scientologists probably don't believe the same science as
Yeah, I feel
me.
like they're using that word very loosely, which is a
Danny,
good
yeah,
segue
Danny
into
Masterson.
our topic, yeah. Well, how are we
Well,
feeling about that? Because I heard about Danny Ma I wanna say Masterson, like,
yeah,
with an
Danny
American accent, like,
Masterson for sure.
Masterson, because when I say Masterson, I feel like it sounds weird.
Yeah,
Masterson. Um, but,
Daniel
yeah, I heard about that
Masterson.
way back in the
Yeah,
day when Ashton Kutcher had The Ranch, right, that TV show, and Danny was on it for a hot minute, and, I mean, I I kinda binge watched it. It wasn't the best show in the entire world. It was watchable, right? It was passable. And then they kicked Danny off of the show because of the allegations, right? All of the allegations were swirling around. So I don't know what year this was. I probably should have Googled. Um, but I do remember that happening. And then I just found it so odd
mm,
that then all of a sudden Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are like, Danny's the best dude in the entire freaking world. Like, did you not kick him off of your show? Well, not
exactly.
Mila's show, but, like and then I feel like maybe Ashton didn't have, much of a say on that maybe. Obviously, it's Ashton sort of run the show with that one, but then maybe executive producers were like, "Yeah, we gotta
Yeah,
get this
Ixnay,
guy out of
Ixnay
here."
on the apist ray. It
Yeah, right?
it the whole thing. It's just really strange. So Ashton Kutcher, right? He
Mhm.
runs that not-for-profit that specifically targets child sex trafficking, right?
Right.
And then there's a whole deep dive on that, on how that is a weird tool for the CIA. And it was like, I went down that rabbit hole and then I was like,
Oh,
I need
wow.
to pull it back before I get a tinfoil
Mhm.
hat. You know what I mean?
Right, so people are like, "This is just a front for something completely different," or it's just all
Pretty
fake.
much what they're saying is, and I don't know if this is true, don't come for me, but it's like what I'm hearing on TikTok is that
Love
it's
that.
pretty much a front for him to get high tech investors like Amazon and stuff like that to make like technology and partner with the
Mhm.
CIA to get these like sex networks. You know, it's basically giving them more tools to go after these people, but the CIA doesn't necessarily give a shit who they're monitoring. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like they can just look at everyone,
Mhm. Right,
um,
right, right.
stuff like that. You know, and I feel like people, especially on the internet, are very anti. Hey, don't look at me. I'm just doing my taxes. I'm doing my Sudoku. Uh, but they
Do people still Sudoku? I don't know.
my mom has been addicted to Wadoku. She has been. She goes, I got to
Sudoku?
level 2000 on Wadoku, and I'm like, that's wonderful,
Sudoku?
Margaret.
Thank you.
She's like level 2000, and I'm like, that's great. I and she goes, and what level are you? I'm like, I'm 23.
0.
I'm 23 years old, so I don't do that yet.
But you were saying level 23. I was like,
Oh,
"Babe, that's kinda good, alright."
all right, you made
You
a
go.
start.
Yeah, yeah.
But like,
You do you.
she does like, do you know the Wordle puzzles?
Yes, that was people still doing that? I did
People
that
are
for
still
2 Cs.
very into it.
Okay, alright.
But what she does like next level. She's got it's like a grid, right? It's like four things of five of it's like four panels of
Oh, it's
Wordles,
not numbers.
and you
It's
have
not
to do
Sudoku.
four at once. I'm like, I had to help you install a printer, and you can do four word puzzles at once. I struggle with one Wadoku. I'm like refreshing it and then pretending I'm like, got it first try, guys. Like I'm so shit at them.
How
And she
much
can do
time?
five at once.
How much time do you have?
I'm
That's
literally watching her
incredible.
do them. I'm sitting with her in the doctor's office and she's just fucking zooming through them. Level 9,000. She's insane. She's the gamer. She is the gamer. I feel like we have to unleash. She has a brilliant mind, but she's one of the stupidest people I know. She she has a brilliant mind. I love her.
Brilliant.
She's so smart, but fuck, oh my god, the divorce of Sophie Turner.
Oh, yeah. I was, like,
they
wondering where you were going
they
with that.
are
I'm like, "Sorry,
treating
did you
him. They are treating him like a war criminal
It's a
because he
war
kind
crime."
of is.
Yeah. I'm so confused about what the heck is going on with this. I'm team Sophie for sure,
Who the fuck
but,
isn't
like
Team Sophie?
but I don't
Well,
understand. Like,
him.
what is he doing? Why isn't he just shutting his mouth? He's, like, running his mouth and
He
making it so
had
much
it.
worse for us.
She was like, you know what I think? And this is what everyone thinks. She must have something huge. She must have something huge.
Mhm,
He probably
mhm.
has like six sister wives or some shit. Like he, he has to have done something bad for him to be like, mm, and she wouldn't even scroll down when we were walking on the street with my widow eggs. Like she he was like slandering her for no good reason. It's like,
He likes to
sir,
go out and party, and
yeah,
I don't like that.
she literally wouldn't even take care of the baby 24/7. Literally.
And by baby, I mean me.
Like a few months ago,
I will
literally, a few months ago, he was like, "Yeah, I just can't get her out of the house. She won't even come to events with me." And now she's like, he's now spinning her to be some party animal. It's like,
right?
you can't have it both ways, Beverly.
Yeah,
She's either a shit mother or a great mother. She either parties too much or she doesn't party enough. What is it, bitch? What is it?
right?
She's the
Yeah,
queen of
I
the
don't
north.
understand that.
She is the queen of the north. She is
Then
she's gonna be fine without you. One of the brothers.
yeah. What yeah, Joe,
Not
right?
even the
Joe.
hot one.
I mean
Not even Nick Jonas
I
is the
mean,
hot one.
Kevin. Poor Kevin. I'm sorry.
All right. If that's your thing.
I mean, no, Joe was my thing, but now definitely not.
Isn't there another Jonas brother?
I What, like a 4th one?
Yeah,
There's Nick. There's a f
there's a
I'm
fourth
sorry,
one.
sir. There's a 4th.
It was never in the band, but they
Mummy
have another
Jonas,
brother.
what were you doing? Like,
HGH apparently or something. she was doing
baby boomers,
she was
they
doing
be
something.
they be booming, I tell you. They just going for it.
They just gave away all the girls. It's like, we need a boy
Just
band.
gave them away.
Yeah, they were trying to do a Hanson, but it didn't work.
They were like, "We just need to keep popping them out. We just need to keep
Actually,
having boys."
they were trying to do a Hanson and it did work.
Isn't there 5 Henson?
Is there? I only know Umbop.
Well, yeah, me too, but, like,
It's
yeah.
too old for me.
Yeah, it's not too old for me.
Well,
I was there
I was there when the magic
1,000
was
years
written.
ago. Yes, I
Don't
was
quote
there.
the whole magics to me, witch.
It's so true. Oh my god.
Yeah, what do you
I don't know,
reckon?
man.
What do you reckon with like the divorce stuff? Do you think it is because she's like gonna drop a diss album with Taylor Swift or something?
I don't know. I don't understand the reasoning behind Joe Jonas. Yeah, I think you must be right. She must have something on him or, like, but she's been dead silent, so I don't know what
Which
the
is
whole thing's about,
smart.
right?
If he
It is
had just
smart,
shut the fuck up, he would have
right?
been able to. And his team, whoever his team is, needs to be fired into the sun
Oh, yeah.
because they he just shut the fuck up. Like, just shut the
Yep.
fuck up. All you had to do was shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. All you had to
It's
do.
literally it.
It's
I
like,
don't understand how they came out and they were like, "It's amicable, lovely," and we're like, "Oh, that's sad.
yeah.
That's okay. Oh, no." And then w next minute, we're hearing all this shit, like,
Widowy, she can't even poach eggs, Widowy. And it's like, it's the stupidest little shit. And it's like, and then I saw a TikTok that was a girl being like, "Oh yeah, I saw Joe Jonas out at the club, like acting like a single guy a few months ago." And so they were like speculating that it's been going on for a lot
Oh.
longer
Well,
than it.
yeah, I mean, they probably separated and then I mean, you don't generally just be like, "Oh, hey, babe, should we just get divorced and, let me
Hey,
just put that through to the press,
yeah,
tippity
exactly.
tap."
Yep, yep, yep.
I feel like, yeah, you kind of although going to the club is kind of a bad look, especially being a celebrity, like, people are gonna see you.
A
Can you
celebrity trying
calm
to
down?
trying to run like a I don't party. She likes to party too much.
I don't party.
Like, I what the fuck is up? What the fuck is up? I don't get it. He needs to calm the fuck down, or she needs to drop the tea. Like, if she would just
Mm,
drop that tea, everything would
maybe
be
she's gonna
fine.
write a book. I feel like just come out with a tell-all, you know?
I feel like,
Although would he then
mm,
sue the shit out of her? Maybe.
but the thing
I
is,
don't know.
I don't think you can sue people if things are true. Although, but you have to prove that they're true. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I
The whole
mean, yeah,
thing.
suing for defamation for, like, something to yeah,
Mm.
insider knowledge of just your marriage. No one's gonna know. Yeah, no,
Imagine you're married to Sansa Stark and you flub it that hard.
yeah, that's pretty bad.
You're a Jonas brother. You're a Z-list celebrity, and
Yeah.
you're dating like a B-list, and you flub it
I mean,
that
I feel like
hard.
she's almost A-list these days, like,
True, she did
she's
have that
almost
new
a
one.
household
I feel like she's a household name, right? Like, everybody's. I mean, everyone saw that fucking shit with Dark Phoenix. Oh,
name.
oh, woof. I really liked her in that series. Dark Phoenix was bad. It was just bad. She was good. I liked her, but the story was weird, and the role she had to play was weird, and the fact that, spoilers, Jennifer Lawrence just gets
Mhm.
fucking launched into a signpost. It's like, that bitch has almost died several times, and that's how she
Jesus.
dies, trying to give a cuddle to somebody, and then she fucking dies. Ugh.
Yeah, I have not seen it, so I cannot comment, but, it
Mhm.
sounds bad. But I was
It
just
was
thinking
bad.
about the roast she did at, Joe Jonas roast.
No, I
Did you
didn't
watch
see
that?
that. What did she
Oh,
say?
it was pretty good. It was a wee while back, but it's funny just watching back on that and seeing it in light of their divorce and how
Mm.
she talked about, the Joe Jonas and their purity rings, when they were teenagers and how they
I
would,
remember that. Didn't they try and
yes.
indoctrinate Miley Cyrus into doing that shit? I feel like they
Probably.
I feel like she went through
Just
that whole period of, like, They talked about abstinence on one of the shows. I feel like it was one of the shows where it was like, it wasn't Camp Rock. It might have been Hannah Montana. It might have been. But I remember there was an
Possibly.
abstinence, or maybe it was just an advertisement, but there was an abstinence talk, and I was like, oh, abstinence seems okay. That seems like counterintuitive. Why don't we just teach people not to get pregnant? But what do I know?
What do we know? Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Clearly America's doing it well, so we should just let them do what they're doing.
Exactly, exactly. Not their infant mortality rates being huge, and
Oh,
their
mm-mm.
literacy rates being in the fucking sink, and
Teen pregnancy.
the leading cause of death in kids is guns. I think kids are, I think everything's fine there. I think
I
it's
think it's
fine.
fine. I think they're doing real good.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
constant war on trans rights.
Mhm.
I think that's mostly fine. I feel like we've already ruined the dogma of light-hearted conversation. And like, not to get
Yeah.
political, but America,
That's a good
it's
point.
bad.
In the toilet, yeah. Uh-huh,
Well,
uh-huh, but that's okay because we're so far reserved that it's like,
I will
"Are
say that
Americans gonna
Australia
listen
is
to
not
us?"
much better. Australia is not
No,
much better. This
no.
yes
I
no
mean, yeah,
vote shit. The shit that I'm seeing on
mate.
Facebook. The shit that I'm seeing on Facebook. It's like, if you don't know, vote no. And it's like, do you only order rice at a restaurant? You don't know how anything's gonna taste. If you don't know what it tastes like, don't order it.
If
Cook at
you
home.
can't read it, don't eat it. I
Ah,
hate that rule
there
as
you
well.
go. There you
It's
go.
one of those rules. I
That
hate that
seems
rule.
a bit racist. But hey, they both are. They both are. And that's
That's
the
it.
thing. The liberals seem to be very good at slogans. Like
Mhm,
very, and
mhm.
that seems to be their only skill.
They were
Like
like,
the
"You know what? We're gonna get, Australia's greatest on board with this, John Farnham."
Pauline Hanson. Oh,
That's it. The
fucking
guy
Ronald
from Bank.
McDonald.
Yeah.
The thing I hate about voting is there's always people from both sides, but it's usually one side that's a little bit worse than the other that are like very aggressive with like being like, make sure you vote this way, make sure you vote this way. And it's like,
Mhm.
I'm just trying to go home.
Like, "Okay."
Yeah, I just want to get in and out. I'm not really here for a chat.
Coming to vote and then, go back to work.
Like,
Thank
do you think
you.
there's like a significant amount of converts at those polling stations where it's like, ah, I thought I was going to vote the Greens, but I think I'll actually vote completely against my own
Mhm.
beliefs. I think, you know what? You toothless bald man, you've changed my mind.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
That's exactly right. You're like, "You there, man with the big sign." I
yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah, mhm.
Quasimodo in the blue
Unless
shirt.
you're
You've really
going
changed
you're
my
like,
mind.
"I'm gonna turn up to the polling booth, not knowing what I'm gonna do, and the first person that I see holding a sign, that's what I'm gonna vote for. That's it. That's
Cha-ching.
the one for me."
Yeah.
That would be the only way that would ever work.
Do you know what someone said to my
Giving it a
mum once?
chance.
My mum's not that old, right? She's not that old. She doesn't look old either. That's the thing. It's weird. And she was at the polling station once, and a Clive Palmer United Australia Party said, "Oh, you'll get $50 more on your elderly pension." To my mum, elderly pension starts at 67.
Like, sir, get the fuck out of here."
Why the fuck would you say that to any woman? First of all,
Jesus.
yeah,
Yeah,
six more
that's,
cheeseburgers, fat cunt. Like,
foot and mouth.
you wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
Just bad. Just so bad.
Oh, man. We're covering so many topics in this one
I
episode,
know.
we're gonna leave no topics for any other week. So, I think one and done for this, podcast,
Mm.
just one episode. Yeah, good.
I feel like that's basically what we did with the last one, right?
Yeah, actually, how many did we do? I can't even remember.
I think we did 15, 12. It was in 12.
In
I
that realm,
remember
in
one of
that
the
realm.
last ones was was the Halloween episode, which is my
Mm,
favorite
mm,
episode because
of course.
it has the what would you rather fuck a
Mhm.
corpse? You get $1 million. You have to fuck a corpse.
Yeah,
Would it rather be a man or a woman? And the point of the would you rather is because they're both horrible, right? That's
yes,
the
yes.
point.
That's the point, yeah.
And it's meant to like corner you. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then we spent close to 30 minutes being like, okay, now game plan. It's like, and how
Hang
would
on
we
a
even
minute.
get the corpse? Like, it was, we fully deep dive into it, deep
You
dive.
editing that going, "What the actual fuck is
Were
this
we on
podcast?"
drugs? Is there a gas leak? Like, I, I was listening to it being
And
like,
how did we get into this morgue?
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
And where are the keys? Who did I have to seduce? Like,
Do I have to sleep with the key holder of the morgue as
yeah.
well?
The guard and the doctor, the mortician.
Yeah, that was my favorite episode too. You know what? We're gonna have to do a Halloween episode for this podcast, which,
Mm,
is gonna be way better. I can
way
feel it
better.
in my bones, in
I
my
feel like
skeleton
we
bones.
have to do like we have to pick a horror movie to watch and then talk about like one of the
Mhm,
classics.
mhm. Yes, even though we literally just discussed how we both absolutely cannot do horror movies, which could make it either a horrible time,
Mm.
horrible time, haha,
No, oh,
or absolutely hilarious. I
yeah,
one or the other.
probably the latter. I hope.
Yeah.
Um,
Or we're just both scarred for life. I don't know.
Dude, I think I was genuinely scarred. As a child, I watched The Exorcist,
Oh, mhm.
perpetually scared that I was going to get possessed.
I
My
mean,
family were atheists.
solid fair. Yeah.
My
Mhm.
family were atheists, but because I watched it so young, I was like, that can happen. I was like, I was like
That's
convinced
a
that
thing?
one day I'd be like, "Whoa," like and spinning my head around. Like I was convinced. And then every time I would like go in the shower, I'd like lather up my hair and then go to wash it. And then I just picture that girl's face behind me
Oh my
because it
god.
was on all the jump scare videos. You remember the early
Yes.
2000s jump scares
Mhm.
videos? Don't worry, we're not going to
Yes.
do it to you. Um, but yeah. Um, but I would
Oh my god.
imagine that jump scare face, like whenever the internet traumatized me in so many ways.
Oh. Oh, it did. We were so naive. I mean, did you have okay, it might have been before your time because I'm ancient. The video of the car driving down the road?
Yes,
The
the zombie guy.
right?
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
"Oh, yeah, oh, I'm just looking," and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get really close to this video because there's something on the screen here." Oh, what the
And that was
like,
before,
what were
by the
they
way,
trying to do to me?
before you come for us, that was before you could computer enhance. Like you
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
do that back then. You had to just use your fucking eyes and get
Oh,
like
yeah, and
right
your
up to your
computer was, like,
12
just,
pixel screen
it was not big. It wasn't like an ultra wide situation. It was not good.
that we both have now with the
That
same
we both
computer.
yes. Mhm.
Nice. But yeah, no, I fully got traumatized by those videos growing up. And then I did it more. I was like, you know what? I'm fucked up. Time to get more fucked up. And then on my own personal YouTube channel, there was this trend at the time where it was like a Reddit this or that. And it was like, oh, is it fluffy kitty or man getting pulled into a paper grinder? Like shit like
Sure.
that, right? And it was like a 50-50, right? It's either cute kitties or person being mauled to death by 16 bears. Like it was and it
Oh
would
my god.
but it was a hidden link. So you couldn't see it was live leak or YouTube.
Right, right.
And so it would just start playing. And I did that on my YouTube video, like a YouTube channel
Oh
a
my
few
god.
times. And I was lucky. I was really lucky a lot of the time. And then I got one video, which was
Ugh.
that a man being pulled into like a paper mill. And
Oh my
he just
god.
goes boom straight through. Like, and it was like, I'm 18. I'm 18. I'm 18. What? Oh, like I didn't
Oh
know
my
what to
god.
do. I was just like, and that's the
That's
video, you
horrendous.
guys. Like, I didn't know what to do. And it was, uh,
Yeah, no, that's a hard pass for me. That's mm-mm.
I don't
So,
think,
would you say then that The Exorcist was the movie that scarred you as a child? You know how everyone has
yeah,
a movie?
mm-mm, The Ring,
Mm-mm.
The
The
Ring,
Ring?
specifically The Ring from
Interesting.
Scary Movie 3.
Wait.
Yes, yeah,
Oh my god, just knocked the
yeah.
box off my desk. Um, Cindy.
Cindy, the TV's leaking. So,
I couldn't
so,
get through it.
so
Cindy.
I watched, I watched The Ring as a child, right?
Yeah.
And I watched only bits and pieces. I wasn't that interested, but we guessed the password on my parents' Foxtel movie thing account because it
It was
wasn't
your
that
birthday?
hard. It was 1 2 3 4. It was 1 2 3 4.
Admin. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was password. But so we used to go through, and the movie channel was there, and The Ring was on, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds cool. Like, let's watch that." My
Like a
sister
proposal
my
movie? Yeah,
sister's 3 years older than me, right? And she was going through, like, a rebellious stage, and she was like, "I love horror movies." She does not. Um, and so
love it.
so we went to watch this movie, and at one of the very first scenes, you see someone get just dead. Like, they're just killed in the first scene. I was
Mhm,
like, okay. I'm
mhm.
leaving this now. I'll be okay." My sister was scarred by that movie because she watched that and then she watched The Grudge, and which is
Um,
someone gets
mm,
pulled up into like an
mm,
elevator situation.
yeah.
And so she was terrified. You know those port things, like you have the box in the roof, like the crawl space things that you can get up into the roof
Oh,
cavity?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
She refused to walk under those for years. For
Oh
years.
god.
For years. She was scarred, right? And I had come out pretty much unscathed because I left really soon, before we even saw her crawl out of the TV, right? And
And then
In Scary Movie 3, you see, "Cindy, the TV's leaking."
the TV's leaking.
And then they have a fight, and then you see Brenda all fucked up. I refused to have a TV anywhere near my room for,
Oh my
like,
god.
years, until I was, like, 13, 14. I was
You know what? Your
old
parents
as
were like,
fuck.
"Awesome. That's good. We don't have to buy an extra TV for Brad's room."
Well, they were never gonna do that, let's be real, but, no, we're Povo spec, that was never gonna happen. Meanwhile, fucking check out the TV I have now. Fucking
Yeah.
16 of those ring bitches could
Woo!
crawl through there. They're having a barbecue party in there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, that movie fucked me up. You know what didn't fuck me up? Barbie.
What?
Barbie Barbie, moving on to the next topic, Barbie did not fuck me up.
See, you added this topic today, so I'm gonna put it out there. I have not seen the Barbie movie because I have been busy raising an 8-week-old
A
child,
real
um,
Barbie.
a real Barbie. But I do wanna see it. It looks really good.
It is really good. The fuck. I don't wanna spoil it for you now because it's really good.
I have
But
heard some musings, and I've heard that it's, not sad, but, like, people have cried and, like, it's quite good.
yeah,
Like, it's not just
as soon as you have
cringy
Billie
stuff.
Eilish in anything,
Aw,
I'm drowning in tears. I'm
lovely.
drowning.
Yeah.
She's so good, and Miss Margolin McRobbie, she is so ugh, she is, I assume, a perfect human. She is like this specimen. If aliens came down tomorrow and they were like, give me a perfect human, fucking Miss Margot Robbie over here. I don't know who the man would be because it is certainly not Ryan
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. That's right. I
Mm.
always say Ryan Seacrest, and they're completely different
I
people.
mean, it's definitely not Ryan Seacrest. Definitely don't know where he is now, I just realized. Is he dead? I have not heard from Ryan Seacrest in many moons.
I think he got the bag and got out. I think he's okay.
I mean,
I don't
fair. Yeah,
know.
he's just sitting on a
I
beach
haven't heard
sipping
from him
beers,
recently, but
right? Yeah. I mean, I don't really think he's dead, but career-wise, yeah,
I
probably.
don't think there's much
Mhm.
that Seacrest can do at this point. Because it's
Nah.
like all those competition shows. I think Katy Perry ruined them by being a bit of a groomer. Um, she kissed that boy. She kissed that boy who didn't want to be kissed. You don't know
Why
about
do I not
this?
know? No.
This boy was like, "I'm saving my first kiss for the person that I know I'm gonna marry." Right?
Oh my god.
He's like 18, I think. He's young, right? Young.
Okay.
And then she goes, "Hey, hey, 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 I'm all that you want, boy. Come closer." And so he gets really close, and she's like, let me just," and then quickly kisses him.
Oh boy. Oh,
Which
but was this, like,
which
at a concert or something? Like, what
this is America's Got Talent. He's
Oh.
auditioning for her. It's a weird position of power.
Oh, that is a very yeah.
Yeah. And like I get it was probably just a produced TV moment. I get it, right?
Yeah, let's hope that is
But
the
Miss Bon
case.
Appetit didn't need to do that. Like
Mm.
it made my bon appetit. I did not I did not like
Somebody
that
say,
moment.
"We did not like that."
Yeah.
Not menu log, that's
Ooh,
for sure.
no,
I
fuck.
mean,
Ding
yeah,
dong.
I totally sorry, I pulled us away from Barbie. Mm,
I think I did that actually. Because it was like Ryan Seacrest, America's Got
yeah,
Talent, Katy Perry. Yeah, that's
we
my fault.
love
That's
a
my bad.
tangent, we love that. Um, but Barbie does look good, but have you seen Oppenheimer yet?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Fuck no. I don't wanna watch a 4-hour film about some dude, some tall
Just some
specter of a
dude,
man. Have you seen
some
it?
tall straight man. No, no.
So, I was
But
gonna
I
say
haven't seen
'cause
Barbie, I haven't seen
together
Oppenheimer.
we could have been Barbenheimer.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, if we had been onto it, we could have watched one each, and been
Yeah,
like,
and then come
but
back and compared
we
notes.
are
I don't know
not.
what we'd been comparing notes-wise. We'd be like,
No.
"Well,
How
hey,
was it? Good. How was it? Good. Right.
good."
Tick.
I think the problem I have with Oppenheimer is they did some weird human experimentation shit that they didn't touch on in the movie. And it's like
Oh,
it's very hard to pull in the fact that he's a war criminal in into a like a lighthearted biography. But
yeah.
I I don't I don't care. Like I get he's important, right? Like changed completely the world. But also Barbie is so much cooler.
Yeah, I mean, you're either into that sort of movie or not into that sort of movie, like, my partner would
All the
totally be
comments are gonna
into
be
it,
like,
but
"This is what's wrong with people of this generation. They would
yeah.
rather watch a fucking Dolly movie than genuine human history." And it's like, okay,
It's Barbie, actually, it's not Bratz.
well, actually,
Mm.
brats are in the movie. Brats are in the movie. A little
Oh my god.
Easter egg. A little Easter egg. Little Easter egg. We were a
Interesting.
Bratz family. Were you a Barbie or a Bratz family?
Barbie only because Bratz was later, because I'm,
Oh,
once again, an ancient person.
but they were
Um,
like early 70s.
what?
No,
Bratz?
no, I'm
I'm
just
like,
kidding. It was early
"No, sir,
2000s.
thank you." I did I did get Bratz eventually, but, like, I was a, early teenager by that point where it was you kind of moving out of that
What age
realm,
did it
you know?
become faux pas to have dolls for you?
Oh
Because
gosh,
I would love to compare notes because it was
probably
very early
much
for me.
later. Oh, I feel like it was much later for me. Well, I had Barbies for a while, but then I moved on to, like, stuffed toys that I sort of treated as babies. Like, I had this one specific stuffed toy, which they don't make anymore, but I think they were called Snoozimals or something, and they had, like, pajamas on. I'll have to get back to you on what they were. They were like a full thing,
Is
and
this
you could
like the
get, like,
Beanie
bunnies
Kid that
and,
looked
like
like a baby and was wrapped up and had a dummy?
no,
No?
no,
Oh,
and they
no,
were
that
quite
was a
big.
Beanie Kid. That was a Beanie Kid.
Yeah. These things were quite big, and they did have beans in them, but they had, like,
Mm.
pajamas on,
But it was
like, little
asbestos because it was so old.
pretty much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just made from wood, just
Yeah.
like a crude
It was a
drawing.
corn doll. It was made of
Yeah.
corn.
But so I had this and, my best friend from primary school/ slash intermediate school,
Who's also made of
um,
wood.
also made of wood, also a corn person, um, she had a doll as well, and then we would, like, buy baby clothes for it, and,
Nice.
my mum must have thought we were absolutely mad. She'd take us to the shops to get baby clothes for our fake children. Um,
This isn't a
but
Cabbage Patch Kid, is it?
no, it's not because it had, like, the head of a cat. It was like a little kitty. Yeah.
And you're worried about not
I
being
will
able
have
to
to
you're
I
worried
am
about
gonna
not being
find
able to
you a
connect
picture.
with the egg baby, but you can connect with cat head
A little
baby?
kitty. I will find you a picture, and
Alright. You mean you'll send it to me for me to do
I will send it to you, and you
that?
will put it in here. "Honey, I did the logo, you can do all the other stuff,
That's
okay?"
true, that's
Okay,
true.
okay.
I hope we get to hear Ellie's musings in the the jingle. Mm.
The musings
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or mm,
Mhm.
but I think that so I'm trying to think of what age we stopped doing that because it was quite late. Like, I remember being at least, like, 11, 12, and
Right.
then I think because I went to boarding school at 13, so she didn't come with me.
You went to boarding school?
Did go to boarding school, yes. Um, so yeah, I guess 12 would have
12.
been when,
Okay.
like, dolls were like,
So,
"Get out of here." But then I still love stuff toys and stuff, but, you know,
mm,
it's not the same. I feel like dolls it's hard because, like,
can I
dolls and stuffed
ask
toys, you
can
know?
I ask, do you think you
Mhm.
had more baby clothes back then or now?
Well, now,
Wait, but okay,
but
but I feel like a decent collection over time could
yes.
have
Well,
been
mum still my mum kept a lot of the clothes that I had, but the problem was is that I had to get them in, like, preemie sizes, like, teeny tiny baby
Oh,
because
right.
the stuffed toy was
The
not
cat baby was premature.
yeah, it was not like a human-sized doll and also a weird shape, so it was little.
Do you know
Because I
what's
was
so
kinda
fucked
like
up? You know what's so fucked up? She would have been
yeah,
taking you to that baby store. They probably
mm,
thought it was your baby. They probably thought you had a baby.
at, like, 11 years well,
Yeah.
I mean
It happens. It happens.
maybe,
They were
or
like,
maybe they thought mum was pregnant again and I was getting a little baby sister or something.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, hey, that'd
Actually,
be
no, because
probably the better one.
I probably had the doll with me, to be
Oh, right.
honest.
Okay. Well, that's explanatory then.
So it's even worse because I do remember bringing it to, like, the supermarket and putting it in, like, the little
Oh, yeah.
baby seat and, like, pushing it. My mum must have hated that. Oh my lord.
Your people are walking past and the doll goes,
Ooh.
little fucking cat doll.
Red eyes, demon.
For
Oh,
audio
man.
listeners, I just did a creepy turnaround.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
Chucky-esque. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, for me, I loved Barbies growing up, which it doesn't fucking mean anything. People liking Barbies doesn't make them gay.
It's just a
I'm
coincidence,
not gay
alright?
because I like Barbies. I like Barbies because I'm gay. No, but
That's it.
I really I had dolls, right? I had a few different dolls, but I wouldn't play with them in like a, "Oh, hey, Ken. Oh, hey, do you wanna, like, kiss?"
Ooh.
I would give them all superpowers and make them fight to the death. And then I was like, "Well," and it was like a Mortal Kombat situation. Um, and I used to take all the forks from my silverware drawer, and then that was their magic broomsticks. I was very creative and so poor. Um, but it became very taboo after like I want to say eight or nine, for me
Interesting.
to have any toys. And because I had Pokemon figurines and stuff, and I
Yeah.
would play with those as well. In the same way, because it's a much easier one to one. You can just
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But my siblings and really greater society was like, hey, no, you're actually not allowed toys anymore. You're 10. And it's like, I played with them well into like, I would have been like 10 or 11, probably
Hmm.
11. But I was so embarrassed. I used to do it in secret. It was like,
So
it was
sad.
like another layer of being in the closet. It really was.
Yeah.
And like talking about it has that same sort of feeling where it's like
Yeah.
this is a a thing pushed on me by the patriarchy that I should be like masculine and manly, and dolls for some reason, even though I'm making them kill each other, which is kind of a
Yeah.
very masculine thing to do.
Yeah.
Um, Despite doing that, it was still seen as, girly. And I was
Yeah.
forced to not do that anymore.
Which is
And
just
it
ridiculous.
sucks.
Yeah, I don't like that whole stereotype, especially like, if you've got a baby doll situation, you're like, you're worried that your son is gonna turn out to be a dad
Yeah,
and
an
look
active
after a
father.
child
Yeah.
and change diapers and, like, and the thing is that, I mean, maybe they grew up and watched their mum do that with their baby sibling or, or they're watching stuff on TV, like, it's like, I don't
Mm.
understand the whole, like, "No, don't play with dolls,
Or they see an
you're a
older
boy."
sibling doing it and they want to
Yeah,
mimic them,
yeah,
or they just like the look of it and it comes naturally because it's a human instinct to care for
yeah,
things. Like,
yeah, exactly.
stupid. So
Yeah.
stupid.
I definitely didn't feel that, same way as you. I think it's definitely something that boys unfortunately have, um, thrust upon them or pulled away in terms of not being allowed to play with toys and, dolls or, like, girly things. I'm making little quote marks with my fingers right now. Um, but I think I just sort of outgrew my dolls.
Mm,
I still had, like, my plushies, and I did bring a lot of my stuffed toys to boarding school with me, so at, like, 13, but it was less of, like, me playing with them, more of just, like, a
mm.
comfort to have, and I just liked them. Like, I still like having stuffed toys, and now that I have Pagan, it's, like, an excuse to buy more of them. "This is not for me, this is for my child."
This squishmallow
Um
is for my squishmallow.
Yes, yeah. Squishmallow is for my small human who does not know
Mm.
what this is or can play with it at all, but I still want it.
Yeah, I can't put it in their crib or do anything with it.
That's it. I can wave it in
However
her face, and she kinda giggles and, like, spits out a
mm,
bit of drool, but that's about
yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Make her shit on command with your kangaroo squishmallow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hapa!
She's like, "Ugh."
Yeah. It's, yeah. I it was a thing. Like, I remember the day that I put them down. I remember the day that I put them down. I was like, "Yeah, this is the last time," because
"Oh,
my sister had friends over, and they all kind of like randomly piled into my room, and I had my toys out, and it was like someone had walked in on me masturbating. It was that level of shame.
oh my
I
god.
quickly like threw my blanket over, and they wanted to sit down on my bed, and I'm like, "No, no, 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 no."
No,
No,
no.
no, 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 no,
There's porn under
no, no,
there."
no. Yeah, there's actually it's a class 3 landmine.
Yeah,
Sorry. Um, but I had to, like, quickly get them all out of my room and then hide my dolls, and I was like, "I can't do this anymore. This is too embarrassing. This is too shameful." And I was like 11, dude. How sad is that?
that is really sad. Yeah. Was this an older sibling or
Yeah.
younger sibling?
I only have
Okay.
older siblings.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm the baby, as you can tell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that's really fucking sad. I yeah. Do you think that that was more, a lot of just you seeing what society is doing and putting it on yourself as well? Like, did you ever have anyone being like, "What
Oh,
the fuck are you
people used
doing?"
to tease me all the time. All the time. My sister and her friends, which they were growing, they are affected by patriarchy. Everyone is, right? Um, but they were weaponizing theirs in a very different way. Like, and they were
Mm.
girls. That's the thing. It was coming from women. It was
Yeah,
women like tearing down my masculinity when it was like, I'm doing stereotypically girly things. This shouldn't be a problem for you, but it is.
yeah,
Things that are feminine are seen as bad for some reason. I don't even get it. Like, I'm making them fight to the death. I was so inventive. I had a brilliant mind. It's gone
still
now.
do, babe,
No,
still
no, no,
do.
it's rotted out of my head. It came out of my nose after the cancer. It was just like,
That's fair. I
hmm.
mean, that's hard because I feel like you having sisters too would then make you do more girly stuff because you would have seen them doing girly stuff and your mum doing girly stuff, and then, so them teasing you for it, it's like, "Babe, that's what I just grew up watching and doing, and I wanna do the same stuff.
There's
What's
a
the problem?"
picture of me, and I won't be able to get it for this because it's a physical picture, but there's a picture of me. I'm wearing my sister's princess pajamas, and then she didn't have princess pajama pants, so I'm wearing another princess pajamas t-shirt as bottoms, and I
Love
have
that.
fairy wings and a magic wand. And my mum
Amazing.
was still shocked when I came out. Shocked. Shocked.
Shooketh.
I'm like 6 or 5 or 6 in this photo. And she was like shook when I came out. I was like, it crumbled the
Very,
foundations of her existence.
convenient that you cannot get this photo for us.
I don't know where it is. Last time I checked, my sister had it on the wall, but she
Mm,
moved 1,000 times and it was just blue tacked. So, and it was a very turbulent time. So she was tearing those things down all the time. So it's
right,
probably
right, right.
lost, but I'll
Yeah,
definitely
that's
have a
true.
look for it
Mhm, and
because it
then we'll
is a
put it
very
here.
cute photo because I'm very cute.
Oh, okay, good. I need to see this.
You're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure you were.
I need
Okay,
evidence.
pumpkin patch.
Evidence, sir,
Yeah,
evidence.
exactly. And when was this? And who was her sister? A witch.
We definitely need to do a full, Vine episode, but, anyway.
Fuck.
Speaking
Crazy.
of, culture,
Culture? Are you about
I
to talk about
guess?
your cult? Are we moving on to the probiotics section of the podcast?
We've already talked about Scientology. No, I was trying to segue into OK Zoomer.
Oh, okay. So this is one that I didn't super prepare for. There's this thing on TikTok going around that's like, I'm probably gonna say it wrong, but Chugi. It's like Cheugy.
CH okay, let me try
Chugi.
and think of what this could mean. If you put it into a sentence, will it give it away?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
That's so Chugi.
Oh, okay. That could go
It could be Chuji. It more I think about it, it's probably Chuji. I've never seen it said. I've only seen it in the comments of TikTok.
right, 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 right. Okay, well, I've never heard or read this word in my life. I'm a millennial, so okay. Uh, it could go either way. That's so chuggy or
Mm.
chuggy. So, like a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like I'm gonna go with it. Does it mean like stuff like cringe? Like that's so cringe or something like that?
Kind of. So it means something that is it's currently being used as like, "Oh, that's so millennial core, like, that's so
Oh
cheeky."
my god, that's
So, like,
embarrassing for me.
the middle part and, like, you have a side part, I think you're okay. But, like, people wearing skinny jeans, so cheeky. But the thing
Oh
is,
my
I
god.
like
They
skinny
have a
jeans.
whole word for millennial culture. So I'm a walking
Chuggy.
millennial
You're
because I
walking chuggy. I think
yeah,
it's
because I had the
bougie and
sidebar.
choosy. I don't know.
Choose
I've never
choosy.
seen it, and then I don't know how the Australian vernacular interacts with it. Like,
Well, that's true, yeah.
is it chuggy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's chuggy. That's chat. Like,
Oh,
um,
cheeky.
but yeah,
Um,
chuggy. It's like I
is it
saw this
based on
video.
another word? Is it pulled from another word? I don't understand.
I
It's just
don't
a
think so.
random
I don't
no,
think so.
right? Um,
Because what I saw it recently and it came into my vision because it was this video of this woman doing like a handbag. It was like a mini handbag unboxing video, right? Which I was on a deep dive. And this, I'm just going to put it plain. He was a gay guy, a very effeminate gay
okay.
guy,
Mhm.
like
Is it you?
tearing
I'm
her
just gonna
apart,
say,
right?
is it you?
It was me. No, it was a very pretty
You
gay guy.
caught me. You caught me.
I know. He was like essentially kind of tearing into her. And then she replied his video with, "Not everything is for the Gen Z gays." So he
Oh my god.
called that
Right. Mhm.
Chugi call, right?
Right, right, right,
And
right.
she was like, "Not everything is for the Gen Z gays." And the internet exploded. She meant GAZE. They were hearing GAYS, the Gen Z gays. And so a bunch of people
Oh.
replied to this video being like, "Why isn't everything for us? What a weird little group to be weird about." And it was like and then she had to make another video
Oh.
being like,
No, no,
"Bitch,
no.
bitch,
GAZ.
step your vocabulary up. GAZE,
Wouldn't it
gays."
be an absolute travesty if she did mean the gays, but then she was like,
Well,
"Whoopsies. Oh, let me just
she's doing
flip-flop on that."
handbag. She's doing handbag unboxing videos on TikTok. Who else are you making them for?
That's a good point, yeah. Millennial gays.
Wow. But yeah, the Gen Z gays, and everyone was like, "What a weird group to call out." And I was like, "Not really. We are kind of insufferable, but in the best way, in the best way."
That's fair. That's fair.
But fuck yeah. So the internet kind of like went up against her, and then everyone who like I don't know,
True.
like just realized that gays has more than one word was like, um, I don't think you guys are really thinking about this. Because people are angry, like very angry at her.
Yeah, that's yeah, communication 101. It's like Romeo and Juliet. Like, just get your communication sorted and you both wouldn't have died. Communication is key.
Communication
But
is key.
so they were calling that chuggy in her video.
Yeah.
So,
So
oh my
it
god, I
it
feel
came
like I
like
need
a
to Google this,
sandwich.
and I think I'm gonna hurt myself if I Google it. I think I'm gonna read it and
I
go,
think it'll be a picture of
"That"
you.
it might be. It could just be my full Facebook profile.
But yeah, it means something that's like not on trend. It's not like, it's kind of outdated.
The fact
That's
that
how I it's
I
cringe and
am
outdated. So you got
outdated
half of it.
hurts
It's like
my
kind of
feelings, yeah.
cringy outdated.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that hurts my
You
feelings
know what's weird? They
now,
hate skinny jeans. They hate skinny jeans with a passion. I don't get that.
which is an odd thing to hate. If
Okay,
they were low rise, I mean,
I'm
don't ever bring those back.
I'm fat, so all jeans are skinny jeans for me. Um,
Me too, babe, me too.
but the way they look is fine, and I think that's maybe a sign that I'm an elder Gen Z because, like,
Mhm.
growing up, when I was in my teen years, I wanted to look like Joey Graceffa. That is how I was like, if I can just mentally control my hormones and biology to be like Joey Graceffa, and then I ended up looking like fat Shane Dawson. I blue hair with a fucking rodeo clown. Um, but
Shane Dawson with blue hair.
yeah, exactly right. But I wanted to look like Joey Graceffa so much, and he used to wear a lot of skinny jeans because everyone did. Like
Yeah.
everyone of that. Were you ever into like
Yeah.
that sort of generation? O2L, that sort of thing. Connor
Like,
Franta, Kian
mm,
Lawley, was that his name? I don't remember.
don't know. I'd have to Google these people.
Tyler
No.
Oakley.
Tyler Oakley? Yes. That name
Tyler
rings a
Oakley.
bell. Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. One of the most famous streamers now, I think. Very weird.
Really?
Left field, yeah. Went from like gay news, I think it was, to like streaming now, and he's like remained super hot, annoying.
Nice. Hate
Um,
that for him.
I
Mhm.
know. But oh, Miranda sings. That's somebody from that generation.
Uh-huh.
Miranda
Yes.
sings from that fucking generation.
That should have been on our topic list.
It should have.
Um,
It's a little chuggy, if you know what I mean. Like it's a little outdated. Because it happened like a
what
couple months ago. But the
well,
toxic
yeah,
gossip train, it rides on
I mean,
forever. It's like
that's true.
what's that movie where it's you're gonna be surprised, but it's the train that goes forever? What's that? Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The toxic gossip train is forever.
Mhm. Mhm.
That situation, I am so distraught that we have not gotten more updates. I was
It's so
so
weird.
invested. I was so invested in that drama.
I don't know why, but YouTube insisted that I needed to watch a full breakdown video on the drama that ensued with that. And a lot of the time, if I'm like feeding on the couch, the remote is miles away and I'm stuck and I'm just like, right, okay, this is what I'm watching now. So it was this full, I
You
don't
and I
even know
lie.
who the video was. Normally, YouTube's pretty good at just playing me like my subscribed stuff. A lot of Rust content. Anyway, um, so it just played this full it was like a 2-hour long video. I'm like, "Really? Really? I'm okay. Alright, YouTube." And all about, like, her divorce and everything as well, like, full shebang, and how, her husband, whose name is now completely void from my baby brain, how he was, like had a horrible time, was abused, and she was, like, a real hardcore manipulator, all this sort of stuff. So that's all coming up now, and how it kind of ties into what just happened with her fans and the,
The thing is, I
weirdness,
kind of believe it. Like that
right?
divorce stuff with her being a manipulator, considering she's manipulated so many children.
Yes.
The
Mhm.
thing is, I don't understand how she didn't think she was going to get caught.
It is a
She was
weird
talking to people. Like, did she
situation.
think she had so much power over them? Like, this isn't North Korea. Like,
No.
you don't have absolute power.
Yeah.
It's strange, so
And you're not
strange.
that famous,
She
Like, you're not,
is
like
one of the
you're not
most, I would say she's one of the most famous YouTubers, household name wise. I feel like
yeah,
everyone talked like this back in that, like, you know what I mean? Hey, what's up? It's Miranda. Like back in the mid 2010s.
yeah.
Everyone did the makeup, everyone did, not on purpose,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I feel like everyone, I mean, my Netflix is still her fucking face because I think it's funny that it is. It's still her face because if you change it, you can only pick what's on the list. And
Oh, yeah. And it's not
it's
on the
like
list anymore.
I don't really want to do it like a one piece
Mhm.
avatar, you know what I mean? I like my Miranda Sings one because I think it's funny and it's a talking piece. I'll go into Netflix whenever I have a friend over and they're like, "Why the fuck do you have Miranda Sings as your Netflix?" And how? How do you have it? Because they
Yeah.
go in the list and they don't see it. It's because it was it was like a seasonal thing.
That's intense.
I think
And
that's
now
so
people are
funny.
gonna be like, "Oh, you
Are you
like
pro
Miranda
Miranda
Sings?"
Sings?
Yeah, like, what?
I don't think there's a
What? That's
camp on Earth. I don't think there's a camp on Earth that can be pro Miranda Sings at this time. Like,
no.
except for a weird, creepy brother. I think that's a whole thing. You know what? You know who I feel quite bad for? Rachel Ballinger, her sister.
Oh.
She just kind of made
Mhm.
like weird fitness content. She just seemed kind of okay, kind of nice. Like a
Yeah.
honestly, if she wasn't doing YouTube, I would imagine her as like a nurse. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just a nurse.
Just a normal person.
Just a regular person, and that seems to be like the only person in the family. And maybe I haven't done enough research and she's terrible and she did some like terrible hate crime in a third world country. I don't know.
I
But
mean, yeah.
knowing that fucking family apparently, but god, that family. But I do kind of feel bad for her because she had like a decent following and now everyone's like,
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
the opposite of Jenna Marbles, where like I am still subscribed to like Julian,
Yeah,
kind of in
I love
hopes that
that
that I
Jenna will come back,
one
that our
day,
queen that
yeah,
our queen will return to us.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm
it's
I'm glad that Jenna is living her best life, and I love it a bits, but
mm,
we miss her, and
ah,
I say
fuck, I
we
miss
in
her.
the whole world because,
Collective YouTube.
yeah, I
I
hate what happened to her. Like, I just yeah.
she is she was my comfort person for so many years,
Mm,
right? Like
mhm.
I used to watch her videos when I was like taking a shit or cleaning my house or cooking my dinner. There was never a
Yeah.
moment where I wasn't listening to her doing some stupid shit with her
Mhm.
dogs, right?
Yeah.
And because she just has one of those personalities, or the podcast, I loved their podcast, right?
Yeah.
And I I feel like she had a huge impact on me being not a terrible person. Like,
Yeah.
especially her podcast, she always advised in favor of like respect everybody, love everybody, give everybody empathy before you judge them. Like, and in a way, I do see her leaving YouTube the way she did as probably for the best, right? But
Yeah.
so fucking sad that it happened because she was so burnt out. Like, it's the best for
Yeah.
her, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like
for sure.
selfishly, I'm like,
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
hey, girl,
That's
hey.
exactly it.
Like
Like,
I'm
she's
sending
different.
3 a.m. texts like you up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to remember that, like, life goes on when we're not seeing what she's doing, and, you know, I think that they're doing fantastic, and obviously Julian's still around and doing
Doing
fantastic and
great.
streaming and, you know, living life to the fullest, but man, yeah, I miss Jenna's face. I miss her funny shit.
They
Like,
got married. They got married recently.
they're
I'm
gonna have
j-
cute little Julian Jenna
I'm
babies.
just waiting for one of those dogs to die, dude. I
Yeah, that's sad.
can't
Yeah,
handle it. I can't handle it.
no.
Oh, just yeah. Because I remember it was like I saw a YouTube, and it was a little clickbaity, but it was like, "How's Kermit?" Or no, "What's wrong with Mr. Marbles?" or something like that.
Oh my god.
Like something happened. Oh yeah, or something happened. It was something really ominous, and I was like, I
Yeah.
went into it, and he was like, he's fine, you guys." And I was like, "So don't do that to me." Yeah, no,
Like,
I
what's
think,
going on with Kermit? It's like, "He's eating some
mhm,
ham." Oh,
yeah,
thanks. Okay.
no, it was like he was sick, but he wasn't like dead,
Oh,
which
okay.
is still sad, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, I'm pretty sure the internet will have a collective aneurysm if one of those dogs die. They need to
Mhm.
somehow figure out like the anti-aging situation with dogs before
Yeah.
they get humans, just for those dogs, I reckon.
Just
Just
just for animals. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I agree.
Mr. Freeze
I agree.
them. Yeah.
Just to freeze. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. So I think, we're at that point that we
Yes.
need to do, insert jingle here, fetish of the week.
Fetish of the week.
I love that fucking jingle. I love that jingle.
So good.
So, this week I have for you, and I did a random roll, and I will say the one I got was quite strange, quite strange. It was toxophilia, right? Which is the fetish for archery. Um,
Toxif
toxophilia,
Toxophilia. How is
which also sounds
toxophilia?
like toxophilia. It sounds like people who are bug chasers, right? Like that's what I would imagine.
Yeah,
People who like to
yeah,
get diseases, or
toxic
toxic.
something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But toxophilia is apparently the fetish for archery, right? Um,
I don't know
and
how that would, work.
fire a field arrow up the pussy. I don't know. Like, is it like, uh,
Or is it just like you see someone doing archery stuff and you're like, "Hot damn,
yeah,
I
boy,
Candace does it
yo.
for me."
Do you reckon
Which I
that?
can kinda see. Archery's kinda hot and sexy and, like, Katniss
Well, when Katniss is
Hunger
doing it,
Games,
exactly.
right?
You're squirming in the cinema while
Mm,
watching fucking
mm,
Mockingjay.
hot damn. But how do you bring that into the bedroom? Are you like, "Honey, I need to bring this into the bedroom."
Instead of a riding crop, just make them
Just a
shoot
bow?
arrows without one of the safety things, so they get
Right,
whipped on
right,
the
right.
arm. Ah,
Ooh,
ah,
bit of
ah.
archery BDSM. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm, mhm. Or
yeah,
just you just have the bow there,
yeah.
just
Just
sort
in
of
case.
in
Yeah,
the vicinity.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. You're looking at it during. I
Right.
think that would be how it has to work. And I was almost not going to use. that one because I just didn't. I mean, obviously, sometimes you get ones that you don't understand. Like,
I feel
I'm
like a
pretty sure
lot
we
of
had
them are
one.
gonna be
We had one that was
mhm.
like specifically of the right leg being decapitated, right? At one point.
Yeah,
It was like the
yeah,
right knee or some shit.
very
And I was like,
specific.
man, this is obviously specific.
Be very hard to find a partner. You're like, "Oh, you're an amputee, perfect. Left leg? No."
Oh
Mm-mm.
shit. Yeah.
Mm.
You just troll like the veteran center, wouldn't you?
It would really bring down the dating pool.
Exactly. How do you put that in Tinder? I like men between the ages of 18 and 32 and one
Brunette
leg. Yeah. One leg above the knee.
specifically must have just their left leg.
Yeah. I only like archers.
Yeah, imagine having both fetishes though. Like,
Fuck, dude. You'd have to
you're
really
fucked.
love someone for.
You're fucked.
I mean, you would have to love somebody to incorporate field archery into the bedroom.
Yeah, that
Okay,
yeah.
what I will say is there is this TikToker who he like tests out different archery myths and
Oh,
he's fucking hot. He's hot.
okay,
He's like,
okay.
I might be confusing him with that Irish guy who like builds tools, like farm tools.
Mhm. Mhm.
He he is a regular, right? I am so into him.
Mhm.
But there's this guy who like does like the myths. Like, could you shoot and an arrow and like entangle someone with it? And like, could you put a net on an arrow? And like, what if you shot an arrow that had a net on it in a big war bow, that sort of shit, right? And he does like flourishes and like he's hot, right? And he never wears a
Mhm.
shirt. But he looks a bit like
Right.
Legolas from
Oh,
um he doesn't look like that, but that's the vibe he gives. Like,
right.
oh, I'm beautiful and an archer. So I get it from that
Right.
perspective. I
Mm.
wouldn't say I wouldn't say I would need him to shoot an apple off my head during
Right?
sex,
Yeah.
but if he
So then
wanted
it's like
to,
at that point, is it the archery or is it just the person, you
yeah.
know? Like how much of it is the person doing the archery? Or is it like you can look at a bow and just be like, "Holy shit, I'm gonna nut," you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like that dude, I could probably watch him like knitting and I'd be like, all right, I guess.
Well, I guess this is me tonight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Adding this one
That
to
would
the
be
spank bank.
yeah. That's an interesting one. It's a
Hmm.
food for thought. I feel like if you could just have archery videos going, like porn, but just archery, would that be enough?
Is the
That would be
Olympics like the Olympics would be like,
oh my god.
yeah, like a
Imagine just
sex
being, like,
party.
attracted to just Olympic sports like shot put and, like, javelin.
They'd all
You're
be
just like,
banned. So I was in an archery club. They'd all be banned from the Olympics. They'd be banned from all their archery clubs. I was in one in where I live for a long time. And the people there suspect they might be into archery kink.
"Hmm,
But not everyone, obviously. Most people are quite normal. But there was this one person who had a crossbow and would wear a floor length, not leather. What's that material that trench coats are made of? Like
leather?" They're usually
no,
made of leather.
it's made of like
Suede?
it was like khaki. It was like khaki.
Oh,
It was really long
yep.
and it was to the ground. And he had this giant crossbow that he struggled to load every single time because it was like a giant crossbow, right?
Yeah,
And he would shoot it and it would fucking annihilate the target. And I'm like, that is a hunting crossbow.
that's hardcore.
You would
Yeah.
be able to take down like a deer with that sort of shit, right?
Mhm.
And he's like just there all day, every day, sinking arrows into this target, doesn't talk to
He's
anyone,
like
doesn't look at anyone. Gotta respect it. But he always gave me weird vibes. The fact that he could just like turn to the side and kill like six of us at once, that always scared me. That
yeah,
always scared me.
yeah.
And the trench coat, I don't get that. It was never cold. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, no, not Australia too, like, you're
No,
just rocking up in a full-blown duster. I mean, was he
exactly.
wearing clothes underneath? That's
Yeah, always.
the
Always. Yeah,
question. Okay.
always. He used to wear jeans and a shirt and he had sunglasses on and he kind of had Craig's haircut. Don't tell him.
So,
Don't tell him.
no haircut is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Long
exactly.
and
Ponytail.
fun?
Don't tell Craig I said that. And none of you telling me that, you
You're
bastards.
assuming that he's not gonna listen to this.
Hey, this is an hour and 30 minutes in. He's not listening to this far. Unless he skipped through and then he'll
Maybe.
hear
Skip the specific spot and he's like,
it. Oh, you cunt!
"My name? You
How dare
bitch."
you? Hey, you besmirched my pony. Um, but yeah, he always gave me weird vibes. But I imagine he might be something. All the comments are going to be like, he was just there doing archery. It's like, yeah, I know he is, right? We
But
get
also
that. He is just a
chill.
guy.
Like,
The duster is strange. The duster
dude,
was strange to me.
you wear a full-length trench coat, you're gonna get some looks.
People
I
are
mean,
gonna think you're there to expose yourself to them.
yeah. Mhm.
It's just,
You're either LARPing or you're flashing people. There's no in between.
or both.
Mhm. Or both.
I
LARPing
cast
during the
magic
day.
missile. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I do think with that delightful imagery, that should possibly bring us to a close.
Yeah.
So next week we will be discussing my current fucking obsession, which is Baldur's Gate 3,
Yes.
which Ellie has not played yet. However,
I have
I'm
not.
trying to convince her, but it's very expensive.
I mean, yeah,
It's
$80?
pretty good though. It's pretty good.
I will
I've
definitely do some research and watch some stuff.
Yes. But I am so into that game and I'm so excited to talk about it next week. But yeah, if you would like to keep having conversations with us, feel free to like us here. We have Facebook, Instagram. We don't have X just because I feel like that's a sinking
No
ship.
one should. Jump on out of there.
Exactly. Unless somebody takes the wheel, then hey, maybe. But we have Instagram, we have Facebook. Probably going to be the most active on Facebook, I would say.
Mm.
And then YouTube, Spotify, that sort of thing. Anywhere that you listen to pods. But yeah, if you're just listening to the audio, feel free to check out the video. We look pretty good. We're pretty hot and sexy. Especially me. Sorry, Ellie.
The clickbait. They're gonna click on it and be like,
Exactly.
"They lied to us."
Yeah, hang on. I was promised I would get flashed by an archer. Um,
I'll
but yeah.
insert that footage right here.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so come back weekly and we will have a discussion with you. We haven't decided the day that this will come out. I'm thinking Friday. I like Fridays. I think
Friday.
Friday's good for everything.
Friday.
Yep,
TGIF.
exactly right.
That was
Um,
that I feel like that was chuggy.
oh yeah, Friday for sure. Yeah,
Or
that
TGIF.
and you know what that is? It's past its expiration. Thanks everybody. Have a good one.